What if everything you thought you knew about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen was completely wrong? Most people think they know this story. Two cute twins. A hit TV show. Millions of dollars. A fairy tale life. But what if that picture was never real? What if behind every smile there was a story so dark that even the people closest to them never saw it coming? Here is the truth. This is not a success story. It is a survival story. And by the end of this video, you're going to see them in a way you never have before. Not as celebrities, not as fashion icons, but as two human beings who were handed to Hollywood before they could walk and had to find a way to survive it. Stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal something about their famous disappearing act that almost nobody talks about. And once you hear it, you will never look at them the same way again. If you click thinking this is just another celebrity gossip piece, I understand why. It is not. This video exists because their story deserves honesty and respect, and because the lessons inside it go far beyond Hollywood. Here is the one thing you need to understand before anything else. You cannot look at what happened to these women and call it choice, because it never was. June 13, 1986. Two baby girls are born in Sherman Oaks, California. 6 months later, their mother sends a photo to a casting agency on a whim. Not to chase fame, just a casual decision that felt completely insignificant. That one photo changed everything. Full House needed a baby to play Michelle Tanner. The creator Jeff Franklin noticed how unusually comfortable these two infants were around strangers. And just like that, at 6 months old, Mary-Kate and Ashley were placed inside one of the most powerful entertainment machines in the world before they could walk or talk or understand anything about what was happening to them. A 6-month-old baby cannot want fame, cannot choose a career, cannot consent to anything. There was no dream here. There was just a photograph and a phone call, and suddenly two infants were working in Hollywood. By age 6, they were the youngest producers in Hollywood history. By 10, they were self-made millionaires. The numbers sound impressive, but behind every one of those numbers is a child who was not getting to be a child. John Stamos admitted working with them was genuinely difficult. They cried constantly. At one point, producers replaced them with other babies. But the replacements failed, so the twins came back. Even as infants, they were disposable, and then suddenly irreplaceable when nothing else worked. During the first season, Ashley was too scared to be on set, so Mary-Kate did most of the filming alone. A baby, too scared. And the machine simply shifted the weight onto her sister. Mary-Kate later described their childhood as something she would not wish on anyone. She talked about looking at old photos and feeling completely disconnected from the little girl she saw. She called it being like little monkey performers, not children discovering the world. Performers on display doing tricks for an audience that never stopped watching. While the world watched them smile, something was quietly breaking at home. In 1995, their parents divorced. Their father had started a relationship with someone else before the split was even final. 1 month after the divorce was public, he remarried. Ashley refused to attend the wedding and stayed with her mother. Mary-Kate went. 2 sisters. Same family. Opposite choices. On the same day. That is not a small thing. That is a fracture running right through the middle of a family. And these were children carrying that weight while being one of the most watched acts in American entertainment. When senior prom came, they were not in limos with friends. They were hosting Saturday Night Live to promote a film. They joked about missing prom on stage. They laughed. But underneath that joke was a real loss they never got back. This was the pattern that defined their lives. Real pain wrapped in a performance. Real loss turned into a punchline. Now, I need to say something clearly before the next part. Eating disorders are serious life-threatening conditions. And the way the media handled Mary-Kate's story was one of the most irresponsible things I have ever seen. Just after her high school graduation, Mary-Kate was admitted to a rehabilitation facility for an eating disorder. Her father and therapist intervened because they were genuinely scared for her life. One source said they did not want to find her dead on the floor from not eating. That is how serious it was. What makes it even more heartbreaking is how well she hid it. The director of their film had meals with her regularly and noticed nothing. The actor playing their father in the same movie missed every sign. This is what eating disorders do. They hide in plain sight, especially in environments where image is everything. Months into her recovery, the twins appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah pressed them about the eating disorder rumors. She asked about their dress sizes on national television. Ashley tried to redirect. Oprah kept pushing. A young woman actively recovering from a life-threatening illness being asked about her clothing size in front of millions of people. That was not empathy. That was exploitation. Mary-Kate did not speak publicly about her anorexia until 2008. She said she did not want to go through life with her eyes shut. From a woman who spent her entire childhood performing for other people, that is one of the most powerful things I have ever heard. Now the moment most of you came here for. January 2008. Heath Ledger is found unresponsive in his New York apartment. And Mary-Kate's name ends up in the center of a story the tabloids used to make her look cold, suspicious, and possibly guilty. Here is what actually happened. The masseuse who discovered Ledger called Mary-Kate twice from his phone before dialing 911. His speed dial. That one detail tells you something. Whatever their relationship, was it genuinely mattered to him? They had been casually seeing each other for about 3 months. When Mary-Kate was reached, she immediately promised to send her private security to help. She was in California. She could not physically be there. She did what she could in that moment. His death was ruled an accidental prescription drug overdose. Investigators wanted to speak with Mary-Kate. She refused without immunity from prosecution. And the tabloids treated that refusal like a confession. Here is what they did not tell you. Refusing to speak without immunity is not guilt. It is standard legal protection. Any lawyer would give the same advice. She had done nothing illegal. The case was eventually dropped. She was never charged. But the suspicious version of the story is the one that stuck. She lost someone she cared about, and instead of being allowed to grieve, she became a tabloid headline that followed her for years. Now here is the part that makes this video different from a simple defense piece. In 2015, their fashion label faced a class action lawsuit from 185 former interns accusing their company of wage theft. One intern described working grueling 50-hour weeks, doing jobs meant for paid employees. She was hospitalized for dehydration after carrying heavy coats in summer heat. "You are like an employee," she said, "except you are not getting paid." The twins called it meritless, but settled out of court for $140,000. This part is uncomfortable. 2 women exploited by an industry their entire childhood built a business that then exploited others. That does not cancel their pain, but it does not get a free pass either. People who have been hurt can still hurt others. That is the complicated truth. Since 2011, they have essentially vanished. No social media. No interviews. No comeback tours. Their fashion label, The Row, is one of the most respected luxury brands in the world. They made one public selfie in 2016. 1. They turned down the Fuller House reboot, giving up guaranteed money and public goodwill, because it simply did not feel right. In an industry that begs people to keep performing, that is not failure. That is freedom. Now, the uncomfortable question. Who watched the countdown clocks to their 18th birthdays? Who bought the tabloids with the cruel headlines? Who laughed at the eat a sandwich joke without thinking about the real person behind it? Millions of people. Not bad people. Just people who consumed what the machine produced without asking what it cost the people inside it. 2 baby girls were handed to Hollywood before they could walk. They survived a broken family, eating disorders, public cruelty, personal tragedy, a divorce during a global pandemic. And then they did something remarkable. They quietly walked away and built something entirely on their own terms. That is not what failure looks like. That is what freedom looks like. They figured out the one thing Hollywood never wanted them to figure out. That they did not owe the world their performance anymore. And the moment they stopped giving it, the world finally had to find someone else to watch.